could become wide receiver one. I definitely think he's going to be in the rotation. And
to me, whoever's at quarterback, Tiger is going to be a top contender to be wide receiver one. And he showcases a lot of it. My NFL comparison for this guy is none other than Dax Milne, who plays for the Carolina Panthers. Versatility, he can return kickoffs. He returned a 90-yard touchdown punt return when he played at Stanford. So get a guy who can play both wide receiver and special teams, look out. The Bachmeier brothers arrive in Provo, Utah to be the newest additions for the BYU Cougars. Brad, this is a very interesting story. And when we were knocking down the tape, when we were looking at guys who are going to be impact transfer guys right away for these top 25 teams, I saw this story and I was like, we've got to keep it. And you were in agreement with me as well. Bear along with Tiger. I mean, what great names. I mean, come on. Those guys are going to be athletic. Also, an older brother named Hank.
Yep.
He kind of got screwed on the name deal, in my opinion. But, Hank's probably a pretty good guy too. So, Brad, talking about Tiger Bachmeier first, playing wide receiver, and then his brother Bear coming in as the quarterback. What can you tell the BYU fans, along with the college football fans, about these two guys and what they're going to bring to the BYU Cougars in the Big 12 this year?
Yeah, so going to start out with just a quick snippet on Bear. Obviously was a pretty decently high recruit, spent some time at Stanford. Hasn't done a ton up into this point, and of course transfers to BYU. Nate, I look at him, he's probably a depth piece. I really like BYU's quarterback in Jake Retzlaff. He's the guy that really impressed me. Of course, BYU, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Retzlaff has some allegations.
True.
Don't know if you read about that, so that could play into this.
True.
But he is the guy if everything plays out.
True. Yeah, no, that's a good point. He is the guy as of right now when we're recording this, but could be BYU is a team, though, I was not super high on last year, and they kind of came out of nowhere in the Big 12. They impressed me. Getting over to Tiger, this is a guy that I like, and Nate, I think he is. I think this is going to be a good fit for him. He's a good route runner. Wouldn't say he's just this crazy good athlete, but I think he finds ways to get open. Had more of a productive freshman year than a sophomore year, and appeared that he had maybe some injury problems last year, but I think he's a guy that is going to definitely make an impact for BYU. And look, I mean, I think BYU, that coaching staff does a really, really incredible job. They don't necessarily get, big-time recruits. They have to, work for diamonds in the rough. They have to work the transfer.
Absolutely.
They have to work the transfer portal. I think Tiger's a guy, you have in our notes here, could become wide receiver one. I definitely think he's going to be in the rotation, and I think just his experience, what he brings to the table, his prowess as a wide receiver, I think he's definitely going to have a chance to make an impact for the Cougars this fall.
Absolutely. To me, whoever's at quarterback, Tiger is going to be a top contender to be wide receiver one, and he showcases a lot of it. My NFL comparison for this guy is none other than Dax Milne, who plays for the Carolina Panthers, both being physical and very good at route running, to your point. Versatility, he can return kickoffs. He returned a 90-yard touchdown punt return when he played at Stanford. So this is a guy who has a lot of versatility to him. I think we're going to see him just more than wide receiver. I think we're going to see him on special teams as well. We talked about this last week. When you get a guy who can play both wide receiver and special teams, look out.
Absolutely. I mean, those guys, when you have that ability, you want to get them on the field and you want to get the football in their hands.
I see Bachmeier potentially being a slot receiver moving forward.
Yeah.
Most people will say, yeah, but that's not wide receiver one. That's not a deep threat down the sideline on a go route or post route. But I'm telling you what, this guy could probably line up in any position outside and be a playmaker right away.
Absolutely.
Just to touch real quickly on Bear, and I know you kind of touched on him as well. I mean, listen, we're looking at Retzlaff being the starter, but with those allegations going on, and I don't want to get into details because I don't know the full story, but let's say he doesn't get to play this year. Let's say he's even suspended for 3 or 4 games. We don't know yet. But let's just throw that scenario out there for the fans. This guy in Bachmeier, he's got the skills to do it. Like you said, 6'2", 225-pound dual threat guy, a very good leader in my opinion. And my NFL comparison, Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, physical attributes draws comparisons to Jalen Hurts. Possesses a sturdy frame, enabling them to withstand contact and contribute effectively in short yard situations. This is a guy that if you need to line up on 4th and 1, could be very valuable for a BYU tush push.
There you go.
I don't know if that's legal in the state of Utah, but we can check with our experts out there and see what they got going on. But I think overall, it's a very fascinating story. You don't get to see very often two brothers playing together in college football alone.
Yeah. Yet
alone on the same team.
Right.
That's what makes this story so impactful and so cool to me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. And, I'm interested to see what they do. I like what you touched on with Bear. Obviously that quarterback situation a little bit fluid and everything, but the physical attributes really, really stand out to me. We were talking off air. He's built totally different than his older brother Hank. Hank was, a productive quarterback for Boise State. Played at Louisiana Tech, played at Wake Forest, but a guy that was about 6 foot, maybe even 5'11", and Bear is just built completely different. He's got the attributes, he's got the physical build to be a successful quarterback in college football.
Along with the leadership, strong work ethic, this is a guy you want in your locker room. I could definitely see him being a week 1 starter, depending on what plays out at the quarterback position. If you're a BYU fan, let us know down in the comments what you think about your new brother duo, quarterback, wide receiver duo, Bear and Tiger. What great names. I can't get over that. That's amazing. Be sure to subscribe down below, give this video a like, and turn on that bell notification so you can stay up to date when we post our latest content. We'll see you next week. It's time to break the huddle.